Maybe maybe this is a bit more. Maybe that's a bit more appropriate. um, yeah. So, forgive the weird face tracking. It's gonna be a little odd at times. I've been trying to fix it lately. Um, Hi. If you don't know me, I'm Carno. Um, I've been streaming for a few years now to a very small audience. Um, and the game that I originally played the most on stream was Destiny 2. I streamed the entirety of my Destiny 2 career. Unfortunately, lost some of the older VODs due to Twitch deleting certain things, but I've archived so much of my Destiny 2 experience, start to finish. I think the oldest VODs I've uploaded to my YouTube channel now are recently I've found my day one Vault of Glass completion, and I uploaded that, and that was before I had this model. That was before I debuted. Um, so to say Destiny 2 has kind of been a big part of my life is an understatement. Um, I I had just moved out of my apartment or out of my mom's place to live with my brother, and I'd just quit Overwatch finally. I played Overwatch for years after having played Destiny 1 for years. And I quit because, it was a competitive game and I took it too seriously and I'd rage a little bit too much. And it was good for me to stop. And um, I was so disappointed by Destiny 2 when it first came out, but I loved Destiny 1. I played so much of that game. It meant such a big deal to me at the time. And when the sequel was announced, I was a little disappointed. Um, when the beta came out, I was a little disappointed, and it just didn't feel the same. All those memories I had, it felt like we were throwing them away. All the effort I went to, it felt like it was just gone, you know. And um, I couldn't help but feel the same way recently upon the news today. Um, at least on the day of recording. I don't know when I'll publish this, but I mean, it took me a while to get into Destiny 2, despite loving the franchise. It was always what I wanted. I loved the idea of being in an MMO and being in that community. And I know Destiny, it's hard to classify it as an MMO, but you know what I mean, right? It's a similar kind of community. And I loved that aspect. I love sci-fi. I loved Star Wars. Some more of the recent stuff from Star Wars. I think we all know is not necessarily as good. Um, but I loved Star Wars, and it checked so many boxes. It was the perfect game for me. I love collaborative games more than competitive games. I love working with people. And through Destiny, I learned I love teaching people too. In Destiny 1 and in Destiny 2, I mean, you can check my stats. Um, I've done a good number of Sherpa runs. I've taught people so many raids, and even done runs for people where I would consider them Sherpa runs, but stat wise, it's technically not somebody's first run, but they just never were actually taught the raid. And I found a lot of pleasure and delight um, in showing people that world, you know, and teaching them. And the PvP was something, a lot of people really stand by it. It was never for me. I struggle with competitive games in the first place. If you know anything about me, you know. But um, the game meant a lot to me. The first one, and now the second one. And I know it's not being shut down per se, but it's very clearly being put on life support like Destiny 1 was. And I I quit playing as my New Year's resolution for 2025 because I was tired of being disappointed over and over. I mean, when I came back, I started playing Destiny 2 after having not played the since release for years. I came back maybe a few times, like during Forsaken and stuff, but not permanently. I came back in Beyond Light, and I know there's a lot of controversy there. I think I did the Leviathan raid maybe one time before, way before then, and then now, I've never experienced some of the other raids. Basically, all of the raids that came out before Beyond Light that weren't the Leviathan raid, I never got to play. I didn't care much for the Red War campaign. It was one of the things that kind of threw me off of the desire to play Destiny 2 in the first place. So it being removed didn't impact me much, but I understand why people are upset because there are things that I liked in the game that got removed. Because they did it all the time. Sunsetting is ridiculous. It's an absurd idea that it needs to be pushed out onto the community like that. It's absurd to think that anybody benefits from it. Nobody benefited from sunsetting. Not a single person. Um, it only made the game worse. It only made the community frustrated. And so then, I played for a few years and I knew that there were things that I had missed, but I was there. I was there for it all. But, maybe that one year, first year I played and I streamed all of it, that was good. It was really, really good. I felt like the game was going in a good direction, but it just felt like every few months, after a while, it felt like just every few months there was something. Bungie, developers are doing this. Oh, they're changing this system to be worse. Oh, they're putting out this like information. All the Pete Parsons stuff, all the drama about the company itself, and it always felt like Bungie as a developer was so averse to having any kind of good, proper leadership, and it just felt like they had no control over how the game could be perceived, despite actually having some real good stuff going on. I mean, if you took every positive thing about the game itself and just distilled it and brought back all the sunset content, revamped all the raids, focused on less pay to earn cosmetics, just like I was so into the fashion and the design of armor sets, and the transmog system was so well done in my opinion. They really did so well with it, and then they would just lock every armor set behind a paywall. I mean, I know I'm all over the place. Sorry, I know I'm complaining about just random little things, but that's the thing about Destiny, is it was random little things. It was random little problems that just showed up. All this stupid stuff. The I think everybody wants to blame one person. I mean, for a long time we blamed Activision, and then now we're blaming Sony, I'm sure. And at one point we blamed Pete Parsons. At another point, we were blaming so and so, so and so. It's been bad the whole time. It's been bad at every point, and I think it took me too long to realize that, but that's just how it's been. And I want to say to all the developers who worked on Destiny, not the ones that pulled the strings and decided, oh, we're gonna ruin Gambit as a game mode, basically indefinitely kill it. We're never gonna touch it again. Oh, all these things that the community wants, we're never gonna add them, and if we do, it's gonna be in the most annoying way, most roundabout thing. Only after they beg and beg and beg and beg, and then it's gonna be paywalled content. I mean, the developers who really cared, who had a heart at any point for Destiny the game and Destiny 2. I my heart goes out to you. Thank you so much for everything you've done. It was so frustrating reading that Twid, not Twab, of course, because Marathon's going so well, as we all know. It was so frustrating reading that Twid announcing the Destiny 2 death. And maybe I'm saying all of this and jumping the gun, and there's just going to be a Destiny 3 announcement around the corner. But it was so frustrating because I kept reading it despite having quit Destiny about a year and a half ago now. I was excited to read this stuff. I mean, they're bringing back SRL. They're giving you rewards for the activities you play, like real, actual rewards. There's moments of triumph. They're doing another Pantheon. Oh my god, I love the first Pantheon. That was really good. Some of my favorite content ever. I bought the goddamn ring from that. I wear it every day. I'm not even kidding. Oh my god. They're doing another one with it showed Gaul or not Gaul, whatever his name is, Callus. So I guess they're going to be bringing back some raids from or some old raid content into Pantheon, which is awesome. And SRL, man, I haven't played SRL since Destiny 1. Nobody has, right? Like, what? Are you kidding me? After years of us begging, you're bringing back the content we've wanted this whole time at the very end to say goodbye? This requires a different phase. What the hell? I, at any point, they could have added these things. At any point. Don't even. Oh my god. There's not a single part of my mind or anybody's mind that should be occupied with the thought of, oh, well, they didn't have the resources. They've always had the resources. Every single thing they're adding right now, they could have added along the way at any point. And the reality is that's how it has been the whole time. And we've been drip fed this content the whole time. It's funny. I I play Deadlock now, and I play other games too. And I think about the way that Valve has treated the community with Deadlock, and it's felt somewhat reminiscent of Destiny. It's a playtest, so they have to be secretive about stuff, and they don't want to spoil things, but they still put stuff out, and they get the community excited over things, and there are changes that they make that are actually helpful for the community and that people want. Now, they'll buff certain characters, and people will be upset about that. They'll nerf others, and people will be upset about that. And it's a PvP game at the end of the day, so it's different. But then I think about a game like Peak. Oh my god, Peak. But if you've ever played the game, like you know what it is. It's perfect. Like it's just such a well encapsulated game. And I know it's a different kind of game, but it's collaborative. But you can play it solo and still have a good time with it. The main mechanics are there. It runs well. It has such good game feel. I mean, you talk about Destiny, and I think the same way about Peak, like the climbing mechanics in Peak and all the different items and how they interact with each other in the world. It all makes sense in the same way that Destiny's like gunplay and the lore and the universe always made sense, and your abilities and how you can like make builds and do all this stuff. It's the same thing in my eyes, but I think about how the devs have talked about Peak and like all the shorts that they put out, and I just think about how much nothing there's always been from the devs at Bungie. A weekly, blog post, and you know, getting harassed on Twitter for not adding an exotic from Destiny 1. Which admittedly was not good, but like it's like the only thing I can think of that has even happened at all, because they just aren't on Twitter. They're not out there anymore. I don't know. I'm sorry. I really am just all over the place, but I haven't thought about this game much, truth be told, right? I just haven't. But every once in a while, I'll sit and I'll think, man, I miss running through Vault of Glass. You know, let's go back to the other face. Sorry. I miss playing Vault of Glass. I miss teaching people all the locations to get for the little bits of glowy stuff to pick up, so you can get the chatter white, bitter pearl, whatever you want to call it, shader. Right. I miss um trolling people in King's Fall, making them getting to the jumping puzzle and saying, okay, now you're gonna want to stand here, but look over there, and I position them right in front of the first piston, and they get launched because they've never done the raid before. I miss playing Deepstone Crypt and all the incredible mechanics from that one. I mean, that is just one of the best raids ever. And then you get to the jumping puzzle, and I just tell people, hey, the music in this section is great. Honestly, deafen up in the Discord call and just have fun jumping around. It's a truly beautiful moment. I those Sherpa runs are some of the most important moments in my mind, in my life. And I know that to some people that might sound sad, right? It might sound like, oh wow, a video game. But I mean, let's be real. I'm a VTuber. That's pretty par for the course, huh? But more than any other game, this game has meant so much to me. And Destiny 1 as well. I mean, I it was a much longer time ago. That was not the way to phrase that. It was a long time ago. That's what I mean to say. And so I don't remember every single little thing. And I admittedly I played less Destiny 1 than I did Destiny 2, even though because just back then I was in high school and I had school. You know, I had stuff to worry about besides video games. But the whole legacy of Destiny has meant so much to me, and I remember being just so disappointed over and over. You know, it felt like some people say it feels Destiny feels like an abusive relationship. I don't think so. I think it felt more um like a relationship with somebody who's like an addict to something truly detrimental, like a drug that is actually destroying their life, like heroin or something, like something that will just ruin your life. And every single time the game seemed to get better was like that person you truly loved being so close to getting better. Like they went to rehab, they quit for a week, they got a job, they found somewhere they can live instead of on the street, and they cleaned up their act a little bit, and sometimes it would be, months, right? Months of the game being good, of them, being free from their addiction, and then other times it was just a few days. Maybe it was just a feeling, and then the next day it was same old. I don't know. I feel so mixed now. I don't know if I'm gonna go back and play the new Moments of Triumph and try out all the Gambit changes and do the new Pantheon. I don't know, man. Maybe I'll just watch Shadow do it. It just hurts, man. It hurts. I When I played the final shape, I felt like it was a good ending point. And I played a little bit longer after that, and I couldn't I couldn't bear to see any further. Really, it started to hurt more and more, and it started to be fun less and less. And it sucks, man. I really love this game, and I really love the community. I love the art and the story and the gunplay and the mechanics and the fashion, I love just the hours I spent just sitting in orbit, talking to friends, or going through my inventory and doing whatever. Time I spent designing armor sets, the time I spent just running around the tower, spamming, teabagging to, make friends or whatever. All the Sherpa runs I've done, all the raids I've taught, and all the friends I've met along the way. It's so bittersweet, man. This really sucks. And like I said before, it's like I would hate it if they're just like in a week they're just like Destiny 3, Destiny 3. Like I don't know. Maybe that's what this is all building up for, but I just wish it had a better ending than this. You know? I don't think you could at any point now add enough content that we've been asking for to make up for it. I don't want a Destiny that ends. I want a Destiny that just keeps going in a good way. You know? I think that's the reality of it. I wanted Destiny to be the new World of Warcraft, the new RuneScape, right? The new MMO. I wanted it to feel like an MMO, and don't even get me started about Destiny Rising, dude. The fact that one of the most disgusting, evil, money grubbing companies on the planet that makes mobile games made a better Destiny game, probably in like a half a year's worth of development, and it has actual MMO elements. It has clan housing, like, like real MMO stuff. Goddamn Netscape. Bungie let Netscape make a better Destiny game? Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous, man. Or NetEase, sorry, not Netscape. Whatever. What the hell is Netscape? Is that even a real thing? It sounds familiar, but I can't remember what it is. I don't know. No script for this, of course. I don't really do scripted content anyway, but this is just, I don't know, off the cuff. I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. This is why I quit Destiny in the first place. Well, I guess the second place since I quit. Since I didn't quit Destiny 1. Destiny 1, Bungie quit Destiny 1. And then I tried Destiny 2, didn't like it, came back years later. So I mean, I guess I've quit Destiny 2 twice. I don't think I want to quit it a third time. Cuz what am I supposed to do? Get back into the game? Do all these moments of triumphs? Have a great time with Pantheon? Really enjoy the game for like 3 months? And then say goodbye a third time? Yeah, no thanks. I don't know. I might be convinced. That's the thing that hurts the most. Is I think I might actually be convinced potentially to come back and play. It's stupid, man. It's just so stupid. I got my streaming start with Destiny. When I moved out into my first apartment with my brother, and I picked the game back up because I was lonely after having played Overwatch, and I wanted a real community, not one that just yelled at each other for, you know, using your ult at the wrong time. So moving from Overwatch to Destiny, it felt like coming home, you know? I felt so at ease. And I made friends so quick. All my friends on Xbox 360 and Xbox One, because I used to play Destiny 1 on 360, believe it or not. That's how it was a long time ago. Most of my friends I made through Destiny, like 90% of them. And I had so many people on my friends list who if you ask me who they are now, probably couldn't tell you. But at the time, they were somebody important to me, you know? Or maybe just somebody I did a raid with one time who was chill. Who knows? But oh my god, it's the same thing on Destiny. I mean, you look at my followers list on Twitch. I bet you'd find most of them are from Destiny. That's why now when I stream, I don't get a lot of people. It is what it is. I don't play the game I built my foundation on, so I understand. But even the people that have stuck around, they came from Destiny. Almost all of them. Some of my best friends. It just hurts, man. It just hurts. I never thought it would be like this, but I also kind of knew it was never going to end well. You know? And I'm glad they're trying something instead of just shutting down the servers or putting it on life support all of a sudden. I'm glad that they're doing the kind of thing that like the Stop Killing Games initiative is trying to get going, where it's like, no, you can't just throw the game away. You have to like leave it alive somehow through some means. I'm glad they're doing that. Excuse me. It's just stupid, man. It's just stupid that it took them this long to add SRL. you know, Sparrow Racing. It would have been such an easy slam dunk at any point. Bringing back old raids, easy slam dunk. I know it's that is a lot of development. I understand that. But like come on, man. Is it really is it really that hard to port over some old game files from Destiny 1, revamp some textures, make some new changes to the mechanics, and then throw in a bunch more enemies to make wave clearing harder, right? Like, I don't know. I know I'm oversimplifying it. I'm sure it's a lot harder than that, but God, it's so gross, man. It's so gross how long we've been drip fed content that this feels good. Like that I'm looking at this end of life, being put on um, life support. And I'm going, wow, they added Sparrow Racing. Wow, Gambit's coming back. Wow. This sucks, man. There's no reason for us to be happy about this. Not even for a second, man. It's just stupid. It's just so stupid. I owe so much to Destiny. It's funny. I've told the story about my username before. Um, to make a long story short, it's a nickname. Um, and the same person that gave me the nickname Carnome, um, also got me into Destiny 1 years ago. Years ago. I'm talking like when I was in freshman year of high school. The game was in beta. He invited me to the beta, which or I guess he didn't invite me. It was just an open beta. I played it for 2 days. I spent the first day just customizing my character, and I found out that didn't even mean anything. You never even saw your character's face. And I only played for like an hour or whatever, not much time. Spent the next day playing, going, this game is incredible. This game is blowing my mind. It's the most amazing thing I've ever played. And that guy never really touched the game ever again. But they were a very important person to me for those two reasons for so long. And it's weird. It's just weird to quit, you know? Oh. I don't know if anybody's even going to find this interesting. I'm just mad, dude. There's just they just dropped the ball so many times. I hope future devs use this as an example. Use Bungie as an example of what not to do. How to completely screw over and kill your community time after time after time. If anything, you should take the positive things that Destiny is succeeded in, that Bungie has succeeded in. All of the good mechanics and the fun little bits and pieces of the game and the community, all the good. Take that. Take inspiration from that, please. But don't ever do what they did. Don't ever drip feed content like this. Don't ever paywall stuff like that so goddamn much. Please. I mean, it's too much. People can't take that. It's just too much, man. When the CEO's got a collection of sports cars and they clearly don't give a damn about it, the game. I mean, again, it's not just Pete Parsons. There's been an issue this whole time. From the start, let me just say, from the start, Destiny 1, they blew their budget on star power voice actors who never made return. Like, it never made returns to come back and re-record. I mean, look at the star-studded cast. Look at how many goddamn people were already incredibly famous, not just as voice actors, but like real actors. And they got them to voice these characters in this sci-fi game that should have been an MMO, so we should have had these characters come back and re-record over and over and over. No. They can't afford to bring these people back. I mean, it's amazing Zavala's voice actor Lance Reddick. Rest in peace. It's amazing he came back as many times as he did to keep playing Zavala. And I love Keith David. He did a good job. He stepped in some big shoes and did his best. But, Lance Reddick will always be Zavala, And vice versa. Zavala will always be Lance Reddick. But, I mean, it was such a poor allocation of funds from the start. As much as I love Lance Reddick, you can see the blueprint for disaster at the very beginning. The storyboard artist like quitting or getting fired in Destiny 1. I mean, I remember hearing about that so long ago. All the issues that happened then. And then from Destiny 1's history to Destiny 2's history, all the people who were in the original Bungie team from Halo days slowly quitting, being fired, Michael Salvatore being let go, and then they just brought him back to do like another song or two or whatever. Oh, by the way, yeah, Paul McCartney helped with the original Destiny 1 soundtrack, by the way. There's another, why are we spending this much money? I mean, props to Paul McCartney. Appreciate it. Some good songs from Destiny 1. Oh my god, he was probably way too expensive. Like, are you serious? This is where we're spending the money? This is where we're spending the big bucks? Destiny 1 had trouble from the start. I loved the game. I loved the game every single step of the way. I always loved Destiny 1. There wasn't a single moment. The only time I stopped loving Destiny 1 was when Destiny 2 came out. And I knew that they were just going to kill the game and just let it rot. And that's what's happening now. I love Destiny 2. And I would have quit now if it weren't for the fact that they always let us down. Every single opportunity that they could have had an easy slam dunk win for the community, they just completely let us down. Every single time. And then they'd lure you back in. Oh, we're doing this. Oh, we're doing that. I'm just tired, man. I'm just tired. Anyway, I think that encapsulates my point enough. I think you guys get what I mean. I will miss Destiny. And I will miss what Destiny could have been. Because now it's never going to happen. Maybe there will be Destiny 3. Maybe Destiny Rising will become big. I have no idea. But right now, it just seems like it's going away. And I will miss it. And I will miss the people from it. So, thank you to everyone involved. Thank you to the devs who cared, who really cared. All the artists and story writers and voice actors, all the designers, all the actual programmers, Screw you to every single CEO who's ever been involved. Screw you, every single person in the executive suite. I don't give a damn what your role was. Deej, I don't know if you ever did anything. Screw you too, man. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. I don't even know. DNG, maybe. I don't know. Maybe those were just community people. Maybe they were just doing fine. But there are some people who ruin this game through executive decisions. It completely obliterated it in the public eye. And they would do it over and over. As long as they made the money, they didn't care. Not to be political, but that's capitalism at its worst. So, yeah. I'm just tired, man. Thank you to the devs that cared. Thank you for the people I played with. Every single one of you who I did a raid with or ran through some strikes or Grandmaster Nightfalls. The friends who I just talked to in orbit for hours. Yeah. It was some good times we had. All things considered. All right. That's it for me. Thanks for watching. I'm Carnum. All right. Bye.